Hello, my wonderful viewers who's ready to learn about some more awesome aliens. Today we're going to take a look at the natural history of the lizard-like aliens whose name has not yet been revealed. They generally do not have a strong concept of themselves as an entire species. They're far more likely to think about themselves in terms of their clan or their family. The lizard-like aliens are about 4 feet or just over 1.33 meters long. They have very strong teeth, which while being pointed and sharp, are very broad and firm and used mainly for grinding grains. They are largely granivores, and their culture on their homeworld is heavily devoted towards growing grain crops. Now, unlike the other 5 species, which comes from worlds with plentiful energy that only requires fairly lightweight gardening to maintain their population, the lizard-like peoples come from a world with a very bright white star which sears down on the planet. Only the sturdiest of grasses survive, and these grasses do not naturally produce plentiful grain. So in order to maintain their population, the lizard-like aliens have had to develop large parts of their technology and culture to developing cultivation methods. Maintaining healthy soil, maintaining healthy biomes is essential to their survival, to the point that their scent receptors on their tongues are highly attuned to the chemical and microbiological balance of the soil underneath them. Because the soil on their home planet is in general in most of the habitable areas very hard, this led them to developing machinery very quickly, and so they have a long and storied history with mechanical professions and all of the accompanying research and investigation that goes into that. As I said, they are a 1-star system with a bright white star. Their planet does experience a mild summer-winter cycle, though it rarely ever snows, even on the poles. Further from the equator does get slightly colder than the equator itself. Therefore, they have various biological mechanisms that allow them to survive not only prolonged periods of famine, but also prolonged periods of cold, where they will go dormant and sessile if they don't get enough heat and sunlight. Their culture encourages lots of snuggling because of this, as a way to conserve body heat. They are essentially ectotherms. They rely largely on the temperature around them, but they do produce a not negligible amount of body heat, which they can use to keep the eggs, the young, and the elderly warm in extremely cold areas. Their planet is remarkably tectonically stable, and the terrain is very even. The vast majority of the upper surface of the planet is covered in what would be considered rolling grasslands, although the so-called grass is actually very thickly, densely grown mixtures of a wide variety of species of plants, not all of which would be herbaceous. There are essentially no woody plants on the lizard species' homeworld. The lizard species is known for individuals not being as openly demonstrative as, say, the ungulates, the trisk, or the winged when it comes to affection, especially towards other species. This is actually a misconception held by the larger majority of species, because the scent and biochemical sensing ability of the lizard species is so highly advanced, even more so than the ungulates. They have the ability to primarily communicate emotions through subtle biochemical changes. So to the lizard species, the rest of the sapient species are just flinging their emotions out and broadcasting them all over the place. It's very confusing to them. But for some reason, the lizard species don't seem to mind it and quite enjoy cuddling with other species, especially the humans, because the humans give off so much body warmth. However, because of this perceived taciturnity, not as much is known about the lizard people in the broader culture, and it is hoped that as they develop their relationships further with the humans on the more on the harsher worlds that they have been terraforming with them, the lizard people will be better known. The lizard people generally prefer harsher worlds, not as harsh as Earth, but a world that meets the requirements for the majority of the other sapient species usually has so much biodiversity that the preferred grasslands that the lizards live on are crowded out. Most woody plants will outcompete the lizards' preferred biomes, and so the lizards end up overlapping their terraforming a lot with the humans. They lay eggs and form monogamous pair bonds to raise their offspring. They are very dense and slink like rocks in most water, but have a very strong lung capacity and can usually crawl their way out of any water. It's very rare for a lizard to drown. Because of their highly granivorous diet, they've engaged in plentiful trade with the humans since they first made contact, finding the culture of bread, pasta, and popcorn to be a very acceptable addition to their own dietary needs. And that is the natural history of the as yet nameless species of lizard aliens in the universe of Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote. Get your copy of the book now to learn more about this wonderful species. Peace out, my wonderful viewers. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote. Available on Indiegogo for the month of October 2020 and available for in demand through November. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote. Monty Python meets Star Trek in the second book of Human Absurdity, a short story collection that will have you chuckling for years to come. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, available on Indiegogo. Go and get your copy now.